Oh, whoops. Hey, what's going on, fellas? How are you doing on this great Monday morning? Hopefully you're doing well, coming off a good weekend. Hopefully you're able to enjoy that with your friends and your family and get on out there and also enjoy your sports. And if you live in the Midwest area, hopefully you did enjoy the outside because 80 degrees in shorts on Sunday, snowy and cold on a Monday morning, bundled up in a winter jacket, taking the kid to school. Unreal right there. So, again, hopefully you guys had a nice weekend. Monday's off to a good start. You don't have the Monday blues as you get settled on into your workday. Let's go ahead and make sure we, of course, recap last week. We're also going to, of course, recap how the MLB season's gone so far. Let's see what those MLB dogs are up to. And then let's get in some bets on today's Leeds versus Liverpool match. And then, of course, we'll talk some baseball at 11 a.m. Eastern time with the Hockey Squirrel over on the Payoff Pitch. But throwing up the recap there from last week. As you guys can see, 23 and 27 and down 3.7 units. So off of a 3-week span where we won money 3 straight weeks and we're up over 24 units to the good in those 3 weeks, we're certainly cooled off a little bit. As you can see, though, still on year to date, still doing really good there at plus 10.56 units. And arbitrage, year to date, what are we talking about here? Year to date, we're talking about just betting both sides of a wager and putting free money in your pocket. How about almost $500 midway through April of putting free money in your pocket? Love that. What were some of those good wins from last week? How about Zach Greinke, one of our MLB cash cows, our 4th time betting him this season. He's had 4 starts. All 4 times he's cashed under 1.5 walks. He did it twice last week, yesterday, and then I believe it was Monday to kick off the week. So Zach Greinke, guys, you guys see the juice on that one? What did you guys pay yesterday? Minus 150. Same thing I paid because I tweeted it right after I bought it. Yeah, that's going to be your minus 180. That's going to be your parlay piece. And that happened last year. About 6 starts into the season, when he cashed it 6 starts into the season, it drops to around plus, or I should say minus 200, becomes a parlay piece. So hopefully we can play it one more time at least because, god damn, that is such a good prop to us right there. What also happened last week, what about Suarez? He stayed under 4.5 Ks. That was the night he absolutely got rocked. And Eovaldi went over 5.5 Ks. That was the night he absolutely got rocked too, but he hung in there just long enough to get us our 6K there on the Kansas City Royals. So love to see that one right there. Then we did a parlay, Pavetta under 6.5 strikeouts, and Elder over 3.5 strikeouts. That was a great plus 170 parlay. Love that one right there. Then we dipped into the stolen base market there on Friday. Cubs player Horner and Mullins of the Orioles, both of them swiped the bag for us on Friday. One was, I think, like a plus 150, and the other one's about a plus 180 cash. And the one there for the Cubs player, and we didn't play around with him because he was going up against Syndergaard. We put the full unit on him. Stolen bases, you guys have seen this year. You did a lot to go your way to steal a base, right? In terms of getting on base, even getting on base and being in the right situation, like no traffic other than you on the base. Like a lot has to go your way to steal a base. We've been doing half units. Not when Syndergaard's on the mound. Those suckers are full units. That Cub stole 4 bases off his ass. Unreal right there. That guy cannot hold runners to first base. So love that one come through for us. And how about Sunday? D-backs Marlins, first 3 under. First 3 under. Good thing you didn't do that first 5 under because those Diamondbacks bats woke up against Sandy Alcantara and would have wrecked an F5 over. But I thought first time through the rotation, surely, Alcantara and Zach Gallen were going to dominate the first time through the rotation. They both did that, and they delivered us a good plus money cash. We had some bad losses, though, from last week. Let's talk about some of those. Soccer. Last week we said here we are 1-4 in soccer. We did not improve in that. I mean, I guess technically we improved. We went 2-4, but we didn't put any money in our pocket. So hopefully Leeds and Liverpool can start us off to a good cash because we had the Real Madrid team total. That was a good win. We also had Brighton and Chelsea over the weekend go over 9.5 corners. But then just losses, right? The under in City. Bayern didn't come through for us. Our Europa League play on Thursday didn't come through us. How about Man City and Arsenal moneyline parlay? How about Arsenal losing their second week consecutive, losing a 2-goal lead on the road at West Ham? So they wrecked that parlay. And then, of course, we also lost the under 2.5 there and Everton Shondai. So hopefully we can get back on soccer and turn the corner. And I think it'll start off with us today. It'll probably be light week in soccer because I generally stay away from leg 2s in these major tournaments because teams are really out to protect, what they earned in that first leg. And you could get some weird results and maybe things don't quite go your way. So definitely betting Leeds Liverpool, but then maybe we'll see how the rest of the week goes there in Champions League. We also had another tough loss there with Pavetta. We took him midweek to go under 5.5 strikeouts, and he struck out this last batter. You could see it coming. You could see the pitch count working up. You could see him starting to get hit. You knew he was done after this. If he could just get out of that inning and not strike out another batter, we could have gotten a good cash, but unfortunately, he stuck it to us and struck him out. Aller, this is a weird one. Over 3.5 Ks, Athletics, Orioles. How about he threw 82 pitches? He had 5 swing and misses. He threw the ball 82 times and had 5 swing and misses. Most of those came in the first inning when he got 2 strikeouts. We were well on our way to an over 3.5 cash, and then he couldn't throw his breaking ball for a strike worth shit. And they were sitting fastball, and they were crushing him, and man, really unfortunate stuff. He lost control of his breaking balls because thought earlier on he was going to go ahead and give us a good, easy cash. But, man, I've never seen a guy throw 82 pitches and only get 5 swing and misses. Unreal right there. Corey Kluber against those Rays. Yeah, he didn't go under his strikeout total, and he didn't go over his walk total. Just a disaster right there. Cardinals up against the Rockies and Jose Urena. It's one of those bets that just didn't go your way. I still think it's a good bet. I think it was obviously bad result and just bad timing because when you didn't bet it, they were scoring, and when you bet it, they didn't score. Just a little bit unlucky right there. Oh, man, F5 team totals. How about being 11-3 last week and coming back down to earth going 5-10 on those F5 team totals? Ugly stuff right there. NASCAR head-to-head. Took a few weeks off from NASCAR. Jumped back in it yesterday. And NASCAR was up to its same shenanigans it's been generally all season. I watched that race at Martinsville. Although I'd say I watched it, I turned it off about midway through stage 2. That was a shitty race. The next-gen car has ruined Martinsville. It was a terrible spring race last year. It was a bad race yesterday. Hell, you didn't get your first green flag lead change till stage 3. You can't pass on these next-gen cars at Martinsville. Even with the new short package, you couldn't pass. It was a bad race, and because of it, we had actually Bell beating Blaney most of the time, but he lost the race on pit road, which is what that race came to. Who could be better on pit road because you weren't getting much passing done on the track. So we unfortunately lose those 2 NASCAR plays. So yeah, again, down on the week, but still good on the week, or still good on the year, I should say, at 10.56 units. Let's see what MLB's been up to here lately, and let's first highlight the first line that talks about just overall, what are you doing on the MLB season? How about plus 12.67 units? Love that right there. And then jump all the way down to the bottom and read those last 2. You can see both weeks of the MLB season have been profitable. Obviously came out of the gates on fire, winning almost 11 units. Cooled off a little bit last week, but still put money in your pocket at almost 2 units. And if you're interested in the breakdown of how you get to 12.67 units, you can see there's the breakdown between batters and pitchers and F5s and NRFIs and YRFIs and all that good stuff. So go ahead and check that out. All right, let's go ahead and see. Let's see what these MLB dogs are actually doing real quick. While we let's see what these MLB dogs are doing right quick here. I have not looked myself. I've not logged in. I bought them on Saturday and Sunday. I've not looked in. We've got $86. So dogs on the MLB season are down 13.04 units. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull the plug on that, and let's take this $86. Let's start making some parlays. If you hang around on Payoff Pitch, you know we do something called Rapid Fire at the end, where we talk about all games from a money line, run line, and over-under perspective. I'm going to, until this money runs out, at the end of Rapid Fire, when Payoff Pitch ends, instead of ending the show and closing the curtain, I'm going to jump on this screen share, take some of my favorite leans during Rapid Fire, build a parlay, and the objective will be come back that next day and give away the money to one of you guys, one of the great supporters. So that's what we'll look to do there. We are not buying the dogs anymore. Go ahead and pull the plug on that experiment. If anybody's telling you those dogs are profitable, obviously that would be a lying person. Let's hop in that comment section. Then let's talk Leeds versus Liverpool yesterday. Let's talk Leeds versus Liverpool. What's up, Tyler? Did you watch the race? Part of it. I turned it off. I was talking with my buddy Kyle. I said, let me know when the end becomes like a caution fest, because NASCAR needs to create drama, and sometimes you get those cautions late where they're usually justified, but they're also a little bit of a head scratcher sometimes. I said, send me a text when that shit starts happening so I can tune it back on. But yeah, I was up till about midway through the second stage, and then I gave up. Man. Morning, Corey. Good morning. You had to quit watching it, Brian. Hell, when nobody's passing, how you get your first green flag pass for the lead in like stage 3? Credit Kyle Larson, though. He got it done. We're gonna have a great week. I hear that. All right, let's see what we got. There was no pass in that race. Yeah, there was nothing. Tire wear, didn't see nothing. Yeah, yeah. Everybody. I mean, that was the conversation on Twitter. Is you're gonna take no? You could even take no tires almost. That was some of the strategy. 2 tires, but yeah, Larson getting it done. Now winners of 2 of his last 3. You're focusing on the no-run second innings. I like it. I'm 1-0 on that. I think if you're interested in today, I can tell you the gent and the payoff pitch. My favorite Nerfy of the day is Giants Marlins. We've kind of picked on the Marlins, so I think everybody kind of knows that. But Luzardo is absolutely electric on the mound so far this season. So no run second inning. Giants Marlins could be your best one. I'm going to give it away as a Nerfy angle on payoff pitch. But if you're focused on the second inning, yeah, for sure. You obviously don't get as good bats. Take a look at that Giants Marlins. I'll tell you, the Nerfy was minus 130. The nrsi, as you're alluding to, is minus 180. So obviously, yeah, you don't get you get less quality bats, so they're going to raise the price and make you pay 180. I think in that game you could do the Nerfy and go along at minus 130 over on Caesar. So I think that's a good one. Yep. Yeah, how about that, Corey? How about 80 degrees in shorts all last week? That winter coat was deep in the closet and had to drag that shit back on out today. That was not fun. Good morning, Nick. Any thoughts on this early MLB game, Ohtani? I sent out a tweet earlier where I'm going to take that Red Sox F5 team total under 2.5. I mean, Ohtani's dealing. He went up against these Red Sox twice last season. I'm going off the top of my head because I don't have my payoff pitch notes, but it was 14 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 18 Ks, like just dominated this Red Sox lineup that isn't as good this year, and they're struggling right now versus right-handers. I think it's definitely I would just do the F5. I would just do the F5 and kind of remove that Angels bullpen and maybe that, because he's not getting run support. In his 3 starts, he's only gotten 7 runs in his 3 starts. He's not getting run support. So, yeah, I mean, I like the Angels. Both of those bats are cold. Plan on talking about that again on payoff pitch. We're going to lead off the show on payoff pitch with that because it does go right now. I know Squirrel gave out the under. He's on under 9. The total already fell to 8. It's because both of these offenses are struggling. You do get a good pitcher. People are thinking that guy, Brian, or I'm sure it's not pronounced Brian, but Brian Bello, that he's going to get lit up. Well, the Angels offense is struggling, and he had a decent spring, and he's had 1 outing in minor leagues to get him ready for the start. He had a good outing. So I don't know if maybe this is a guy that got better in the offseason, right? You look at the back of the baseball card. Yeah, you were just going off 2022. Yeah, he's going to get lit up like a Christmas tree. But a good spring, a good start to his minor league season this season. I don't know if these cold Angel bats are going to be able to light him up. So I would really just focus on how can I back Ohtani in this one, or maybe do like an F5 result or something like that. Nick would kind of be my thinking. It's minus 130 over on Caesars. It's minus 130 on Caesars. I mean, Nerfies are all juicy. It's hard to not find a Nerfy juicy these days. But the best price is over on Caesars at minus 130. What about using the no stolen base prop for parlay piece? You'd have to tell me what book offers. Oh, is it DraftKings? I guess I've never seen the no column. I just focused on yes. Yeah, I guess it is DraftKings. Yeah, that is an interesting thought. Couple together might work. You'd have to do well more than 2 at minus 2,000. You have to do well more than a couple. Let me pull up DraftKings right here and see how many. You got to do way more than a couple. I can tell you that. You got to do about half a goddamn dozen. Let's just see here. So I'll just take where's. Wait, they don't have stolen bases anymore? Oh, there it is. All right, so yeah, all right, 2,500. They got this guy's minus. Wow. Let's grab a couple just that random. Yeah, I've got. Yeah, you need more than a couple, Tyler. I've got 3 at random. I'm down to minus 1,000. I don't know. It just starts to be. If you want to dump, if you've got I would say, Tyler, instead of dumping in a stolen base parlay, if you've got like a play like Corey here says this Nerfy's too juicy. Okay, let's say you solve 130 and you do think minus 130 is too juicy. I would tack on a player like that and get that down to maybe like minus 120. I don't know if I would do a stolen base no parlay, but it's quite the interesting. That's quite the interesting thing. I've seen what people do, Tyler, to kind of expand on your thought. I've seen people give out bets where they use juice reducer of a pitcher not to be the winning pitcher. Like if you just know a pitcher is going to get lit up, or if you go look at his outs prop and it's at like 15.5, hell, that guy's, only giving you, the sports books say he's not even going to barely go 5 innings and be, eligible for the win. So I think I've seen that angle, and I would probably do that one more. A pitcher not to get a win, maybe. At least I've seen that one. You tried 2 no-steal parlays, both for 4 legs, lost both. Yeah, there you go. And that's the way you're going to lose them, because you got to build those shit so goddamn big to get the odds in your favor that, now you're, that's classic right there. You got to build the parlay so big, and then you lose them both. Hate to see that, but we all know that's what happens with parlays. Yeah, I would do no pitcher to get one, or just do one guy with like a NRFI that you think is too juicy or something. Let's go ahead and throw up this Leeds Liverpool play. We're going to go ahead and take first half over 1.5 goals. Guys at plus 138. You've cashed in the last 2 Leeds game. It cashed in the last 2 head-to-heads. These teams rank 4th and 6th in hitting over 1.5 goals in the first half at 45 and 43%, with the games averaging 1.48 and 1.27 goals per first half. Leeds, when they're at home, it jumps from 43% all the way up to cashing at 53% of the time. So more than half the time Leeds has played at home this season, you've seen over 1.5 goals hit in the first half. When Liverpool's away, they also get an increase. It goes from 45 to 47%, and the teams rank overall 6th and 7th in the Premier League of goals scored per their matches. We know why, right? Leeds is always a classic over 2.5 parlay piece. We love Liverpool's attack, and their defense has been god-awful this season, to say the least. So, yeah, I absolutely love this play. Let's get some early fireworks. Let's start off our week with a good soccer cash of a good plus 138, which has moved in our favor. I don't know what the price is now, but when I looked last night, it was at plus 115. I sent the tweet out. I don't quite recall what time that was, and I don't know what the price is now, but people are agreeing. First half fireworks, yeah, all the stats suggest it, and everything you kind of know about Liverpool, you kind of know about Leeds should suggest a first half over. So that's how we're going to go ahead and do it, though. Not including that recap, I did forget to mention we did make some arbitrage money on Sunday. DraftKings had a live profit boost. We carried that over in this week. We also got a couple free bets as well. So just look for me on Twitter a little bit later on. Fire off a couple free rolls to go ahead along with some bets that I'm going to add on the payoff pitch. I think it's a 6-bet day, if I recall correctly. We're going to add some bets to the card there. Let me get into this last comment here, and then let me go get a Hockey Squirrel. That's similar to no goals in the first 10 minutes. Yeah, in soccer, yeah, you probably got to build so many. You probably got to put in so many damn legs, and you lose it. So, yeah, just like our over 1 point. Remember last week when we went 1-4 in soccer? Those 3 of those 4 losses the previous week in soccer, 3 of those 4 were on parlays. We had our over 1.5. We had our Saturday Premier League parlay, and there was another parlay in there that we lost midweek. I can't quite remember what it was. Oh, yeah, it was the United-Brentford game that didn't go over 1.5 goals. You just parlays, just the more legs. You guys know, though. You guys know. This ain't nothing new. All right, let me step aside here for 2 minutes. It's going to be no time at all. And like I said, I've got some good bets to add. And if you are interested, again, Sox Angels, Squirrels got under 9. He'll justify it here in a couple minutes. Let me go get him. All right, fellas. Bringing this damn energy today, boys. Yeah! Let's go. Let's get fired. Hey there, fellas. Welcome on to today's episode here of the Payoff Pitch, live every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, powered by Bet Openly. We got to go ahead and get ourselves a squirrel because baseball starts early today. I obviously thought he was already here. Let's pop him in. I think my thing took an update. Here we go. My software took an update. That's why I didn't pop you in automatically. What's up, squirrel?
Hey, buddy. You know what I'm really sick of? Rain delays. Really tired of them. Postponements, rain delays. I had 2 picks in a game yesterday. It was at noon. It was that Detroit Tigers game and the San Francisco Giants. I was excited for it. I was waiting for it. Supposed to start at noon, and they were like, well, we're going to delay it. We're going to play it however long it takes. 4 or 5 hours went by, and they said, nah, this is postponed. So no good there.
That's just strategy by the owner to get you to eat and drink all the food and the beer, and then rack up the concession money, and then tell you 4 hours later you got to get your ass on home. Strategy.
Yeah, well, oh well. Got a couple of really good picks today. One game I think was in a rain delay. It's in a rain delay. I don't know, isn't it? Yes, It is. Delayed start for the Angels and Red Sox, and that's good for the viewers because I have a good pick in that game.
Okay, well, let's just jump on into it. That's what we do, and around the bases, we do want to take a couple games and talk about them. Angels, Red Sox, and a little bit of rain delay. Okay, what are we talking about here?
Well, not too much to really talk about in terms of the actual pick. I grabbed it yesterday at under 9 in the Angels and Red Sox. You have Ohtani on the mound today. Let's see. No Mike Trout. Trout's expected to miss the game due to rest, so that hurts them, right, in terms of offensive production. But anything to really drive that game under, and a lot of it had to do with just simply line movement. I got the game under 9. It's at 8. So, while the pick isn't able to be made now, I don't really do much advertising or anything like that for myself on this show. But, I would recommend if you're looking to beat line movement and kind of learn the strategy that I have for all sports in general, I would recommend a Hockey Squirrel membership, to be honest. There's a lot of great people in that Discord channel. We have a chat where people are always discussing strategies. We have some people that are really good at basketball, different sports too. So if you want to hop on those early line moves, check the Twitter if I decide to give them out in time, but they move fast. So there's that. I'm on the under 9 in the Angels and Red Sox there.
Yeah, I think the reason you like that under 9, obviously, was Ohtani on the mound. Boy, is he obviously off to a good start in 2023, giving up 1 earned run in 19 innings pitched, only about 6 hits and 19 innings pitched, bringing along a lot of Ks with it, 24. Also dominated the Red Sox in 2 starts in 2022, 14 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 17 Ks, 10 hits. He seems to own this Red Sox lineup, but a lineup that is not as good as it was last year. He's not getting the run support. That's what makes me nervous, though, if you want to back an Angels money line or something along those lines. 3 starts, he's only gotten 7 runs out of the bats that are supporting him. That's not good. And the bats are cold. Both bats are cold. The Angels are hitting 215. That ranks 28th versus right-handers. And the Red Sox are hitting 217. That ranks 27th. No power to the plate. They're slugging 355, which ranks 26. So how do you go about this game? I think you go about it with just back the struggling offenses and the good pitcher in Ohtani and just take an under. I'm a little nervous about this kid Bello, though. What are you going to get from him? 2022 numbers that look really bad? Or one outing in spring that was good, 1 outing in the minor leagues a week or so ago that was good. Man, that makes me nervous. So Angels do get the better bullpen if this becomes a bullpen game, and Ohtani goes 6-7 innings, and he's got a good enough bullpen up over the Red Sox to bring him the win if the runs have come. So I kind of like your under in this game. I would obviously, if I'm going to pick on one of those teams, just pick on the Red Sox and really get on them on the under. But I like it.
Yeah, and if you're into tracking line movement, which you should, it's a great indicator for being a winning sports bettor if you can beat the closing line. That's a fantastic indicator, and there's reasons why. But if you were to track that, the opening line, roughly speaking, again, depending on the sports book you're looking at, but if you kind of pit the sharper books against each other, it would be about plus 140, and we're looking at plus 119, plus 116, plus 118. So there's been over 20 cents of dip for the Red Sox in that game. So I would be leery of taking an Angels money line. Another thing I want to throw out there, just as an observation in MLB so far, is that, and I'm sure this happens every year, it's just that I'm seeing it a lot more now, is the fades on big names, big teams and big names, right? So today you have DeGrom, you have Ohtani on the mound, you have Max Fried. These types of guys, I'm not saying go out and blindly just go against every one of them, but if you're tracking that line movement, you're going to see a lot of buyback on the line gets too high, it gets too inflated compared to what it should be because of the big names. Mm-hmm. So keep that in mind, that these people are not unbeatable. It's not like they're just coming out and it's an automatic lock win, right? You're not just gonna it's Ohtani, so it's gonna win. And it bothers me that people think that way. But that's why I'm trying to help. It's a learning curve. It's a learning process. It's not just a 100% win rate.
You mentioned Max Fried, and we'll get to it at some point. It may even be
I love him today. It's a steal. It's my coming to a stretch. It's my best bet on Max Fried.
I do not take players coming off an injury. I want no part of Max Fried. Got injured in the season opener with a leg injury.
That's fine.
I stay with that. All right, let's stay with around the bases. We both like the under in Angels Red Sox. How about a game that's going to be the opposite and go over in Phillies White Sox? Let's just talk about these bullpens for a second. We've talked about this White Sox bullpen. Hey, that Phillies bullpen, that's bottom of the barrel. You'll find them right along with the White Sox. Both of these teams have an ERA of 6 out of that bullpen. Their opponent's batting average is 276 and 283. Their FIPs are 4.59 and 3.22. The bullpen should be giving up a ton of runs. We've liked this White Sox offense versus right-handers this season, and they're still decent, but the Phillies are number one right now versus right-handers. Everybody saw what they did this weekend up against the Cincinnati Reds. I mean, they're hitting 335 right now. They're crushing right-handed pitching. They're slugging .511. They're not striking out at 19.8%. They're drawing a ton of walks at 10.1%. This game has got runs, and they're going to come early, and they're going to come often with these two struggling bullpens. So Phillies White Sox to me was an easy overplay for me. What other game you want to talk about here?
Speaking of overs, the Pirates and the Rockies is what I was looking at there. You got left-handed pitcher, you've got Coors Field, you have Rich Hill, which I did not have time to dive into the stats of Rich Hill, but I don't believe they've been good. Am I wrong in that?
He's decent.
But again, if you're going to control
that being said, actually I got burned in his last start because the Astros didn't hit their F5 team total, so he pitched pretty damn good his last start against the Astros. And the Astros team, obviously if I took that F5 team total, they're really damn good at hitting left-handers, and that bet did not cash. It missed on the hook. So Rich Hill, I got nervous.
Where the game was played? Pittsburgh or Astros or Houston?
Yeah, it was in Pittsburgh. That was a game where I also sat here on Payoff Pitch and said the wind's blowing out 13.5 miles per hour. Yeah, that didn't seem to matter. It didn't get over. But what I was going to say is that they're asking you to hit a high total there for the Rockies. 4.5 is the F5. But go on. You see runs?
Yeah, I do. And again, we've talked about the two trends, and when the two trends combine, typically it's pretty good for that over. And it is when the Rockies are against left-handers, and it is when the Rockies are at home. And when you do both of those things together, you get two left-handed pitchers today, actually. So I'm not sure how it will go for the Pirates against Kyle Freeland, I believe it was. We'll have to see. I don't know what the left-handed numbers are. I know you dive into that a little bit more than I do.
Yeah, they're hitting 204. What about a Kyle Freeland under 3.5 Ks? No, I'm just kidding, folks. We don't need to lose our third under 3.5 Ks there for Freeland. They're hitting 204. They're not hitting left-handers at all. You're going to need the Rockies to come along for a huge part of that over, I think. All right, let's go ahead and shut up and pitch time. What about some pitching props? I'll go ahead and kick off the show here with the pitching prop, or at least shut up and pitch, I should say. Lance Lynn under 6.5 Ks, only at minus 115. It's cashed in 2 of his 3 starts. It missed versus the Twins, who strike out at 29.8%. Yeah, no shit. You wouldn't take an under of a team striking out damn near 30%. The Phillies, I told you they were number one in hitting right-handers at 335. They only strike out 19.8%. In 2022, he stayed under 6.5 Ks in 14 of his 21 starts. I love him to stay under 6.5 Ks today. I'll also tell you his outs prop at under 18.5 outs. I like that more, but that one's at minus 170. So if you're looking for a parlay piece out there, no way Lance Lynn is coming back out there against the number one offense for the seventh inning. This offense is going to wear him out. He's going to long pitch counts. They've got a good walk rate at 10.1. He's in for a long day. I love that parlay piece. It's people know I've got free bets and I use arbitrage money. You will see his under 18.5 outs in a free roll today. But in terms of putting a unit on it, he's also not going to get 7 or more strikeouts. So not against this number one offense. You got a pitching prop for the people?
Yeah, and it is, again, I said my favorite. The number's low, and the number's low because of that injury, right? The hamstring injury. He was placed on the 15-day IL, and the prop is over 3.5 strikeouts. It's minus 106. It's far too low. Unless they keep him on an extremely short leash and he only pitches 3 innings, which is very well possible, then I guess we're screwed. And, maybe that is the case today. But if he goes really any longer than 3 innings, I would feel fairly uncomfortable being under 3.5. If we get 5, 6, 7 innings out of him, as we have in 2022, there was only one single game that he got under 4 strikeouts. One game in the whole season. So really, I guess the question is, how long is he going to go? And I'm willing to take the bet to go over 3.5 strikeouts because for his track record, if he makes it any longer than 3 innings, I think we're in for at least 5 or 6. So
interesting one right there. I was looking up while you were talking because I kind of ignored that game because of staying away from players off injuries. Trying to see what he did in his last minor league start to get ready because the books are kind of telling you he's going to maybe be on a short lease because at 3.5, wow, yeah, that is low for a caliber pitcher like him. They're thinking he's not going to go, 5, 6 innings. So I'll see if I can't dig that up while you maybe talk about it in another section. But I'm kind of curious, because that's a low number for his caliber.
I have another pitcher that I like that I gave out. Did I just say it? I gave out in my Discord to members and everything, and that is Hunter Gaddis of the Cleveland Guardians against the terrible strikeout rate. I think the second worst underneath the Giants. Sorry, second worst underneath the Giants. The strikeout rates are pretty bad of the Detroit Tigers. So Hunter Gaddis to get over 4.5 strikeouts there. Let me see what the I have multiple screens. That's why I'm looking up here. It was minus 105 for that. And for Max Fried, it was minus 106. I don't think I ever said the juice. So pretty close to even odds for both of these guys. Hunter Gaddis is not a guy to go over 4.5 a lot, but against the strikeout rates, considering the team that he's playing, there probably aren't a lot of teams that I would take this prop on, but Detroit Tigers are one of them where the projection comes out to 5.5. And we're getting 4.5 for almost even money, so I'm happy with that. Max Fried's numbers come out to about 5 or 5.5 strikeouts as well on projection. So really, it's for Max, it's how deep is he going to go? For Hunter, it's I guess how bad are the Tigers' bats going to be, and they've been pretty bad. So if we're going to go along with that trend, I think that's fine. Christian Javier was another guy I looked at. I did not bet it. Over 6.5 feels like a lot, but he is a guy that can get that done as well. So it was the next thing I was looking into, but I got scared off a little bit because of the team that he's going against. Toronto is just scary. They can tag just about any pitcher, and he could be out of that one. So I didn't put money on it, but in terms of numbers, it's something he can do. He can get 7.
There's something else Christian Javier can get to, and I look forward to getting to that and keep swinging. Let's stay with that Guardians and Tigers game. Let's circle back to the other guy on the bump, and Matthew Boyd. think he's going to have 2 or more walks today at even money. Guy that had 8 walks and 13.1 innings pitched in 2022. He didn't improve that category in the offseason. He's had 2 starts. He got 3 walks, and then he came out and got worse and got 4 walks. So he didn't get any better, and he's not improved off 2022. The Guardians are great. They're going to know the assignment here. Let's draw the walks, get on base, put some pressure on him, and get him out of the game early. So how can you not like this? I thought this was going to be at 2.5 with juice, and you're getting 1.5 at even money. Yeah, sign me up for that. All right, 4th inning long shots. This is where we take our favorite MLB dog of the day and tell you why they're going to get you a good plus money winner. Who's going to be your dog of the day, or maybe you've got a couple dogs with some bark?
Yeah, I got a couple. There's really no explanation for you without giving away secrets than line movement, and they're just good plays. I know the first one you like probably for a lot different reasons. I'm on the New York Mets. I got them plus 130. 135, something 134, something like that. That's against the Dodgers here today, and Dustin May. I don't know if there's stats or reasons why you like it other than why I like it with data models and the line movement.
Same reason I like the Cubs on Friday night throwing a left-hander, and I told you the Cubs were the best dog of the day, and they won easily 8-2. Dodgers still can't hit left-handers. They struggled on Friday. They struggled with the left-handers that came out of the bullpen for the Cubs. They're still struggling to hit left-handers, and you got Peterson on the mound. It's not my dog of the day. Do you have another one before I get to mine?
Yeah, I'm gonna back Hunter Green and the Cincinnati Reds on a scary pick against the Rays, who obviously are hot and whatnot, or have been. You get Jalen Beeks, who's that? I remember him being that 1-inning guy, right? So this would be a bullpen day, right, for the Rays. I don't feel super scared. Again, you got to be willing to make some ugly picks, if you will, some scary picks. Because the juice will eat you alive. Otherwise, if you're always, laying minus 150 to 200, and we've seen some good dogs in some good places. If you want to go really scary on a public fade, you'd go against DeGrom and try for the Royals.
Yeah, I won't be fading DeGrom. I can tell you that. He had a rare bad start by his numbers, and by his numbers, that was a bad start. He done string together multiple bad starts, so I will not be fading DeGrom. I will be fading, though, is the St. Louis Cardinals, a team that comes off losing 2-3 to the Pirates. Struggling is this Cardinals team. I'm taking the Diamondbacks and Merrill Kelly against Jack Flaherty. They're in the St. Louis Cardinals. Diamondbacks with a huge offensive advantage versus right-handed pitching. How about
they won 3-2, right? Yesterday, the Cardinals won.
Yeah, they avoided the sweep. They got the win, 3-2.
Yeah, okay.
Cardinals have the second best batting average versus right-handers. They're crushing right-handers. Cardinals lost 2 or 3 versus Pirates. Bullpen edge, though, does go to the Cardinals. So if Flaherty and Kelly can keep this game low scoring, okay, now you're going to be up against it a little bit with that Cardinals bullpen. But I actually expect the bats to come out against Flaherty. He's had a nice start. He's going to have a hiccup against his top 3 offense for his right-hander. So give me the Diamondbacks today as your best dog on the board. Keep swinging. 5th inning, we give you guys hitting props. Not necessarily hitting props, but guys with the bat. What do you got for hitters today?
Well, this would be going against what you gave out. I thought Lance Lynn had a one-up on a couple of guys there in the Phillies lineup. Don't know if they're both in the lineup or whatnot, but just by the numbers anyway, Kyle Schwarber and Josh Harrison look like they've had a tough time against Lance Lynn, so I was looking at them to not get a hit, which is what you want to do generally. I mean, with the props, it is that they tend to go under because people want all this action, and so I think people get kind of killed on props trying to go over all the time on their favorite players. Another guy that looked like he had done pretty well against a team was Logan Webb. So the Giants against the Marlins, I believe that would be. So there was Avisail Garcia, Yuli Gurriel, and Garrett Hampson, I think, were the 3 to not get a hit. So that's generally where I'm looking if I'm doing props, is for something not to happen more often than not.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, there you go for some of those guys if you want to look in them to not get a hit and what those odds would be and all that.
Be careful that Kyle Schwarber one. I saw the same information that Squirrel says that he struggles against Lance Lynn was obviously accurate information. but he's going to get all 9 innings to get in that bat and the third worst batting average, that bullpen. Man, that would make me nervous. If Lynn does his job, that bullpen could easily ruin a great play for you. So I'm going to look at Colton Wong there, the Seattle Mariners. He's 5 for 9 off Corbin Burns. All of them are singles, so not a guy you want to do his total bases, but maybe if you're looking for a guy that can just get you a hit. Miguel Rojas there of the Los Angeles Dodgers. He's 5 for 9 off David Peterson. 2 doubles in the home run. What about Marcus Semien? We cashed him last week. We did his over 1.5 total bases. Who do we do it against? Oh, we only did it against Jordan Lyles. Yeah, he's going against Jordan Lyles today. We'll be running back that same play. Now he's 10 for 20 off Jordan Lyles, 4 doubles in a home run. They're the away team, so he gets the bat all 9 innings. And Jose Ramirez, they're the Guardians. He's 11 for 38 up against Boyd, a double, a triple, 3 home runs. And the Guardians will be batting all 9 innings as they're the away team. So those are the guys I like to get a hit, or maybe to go over 1.5 total bases. You can't keep swinging without talking about your guy, Christian Javier, who you brought up there at the Houston Astros. Who gives up the most stolen bases this season? It's not Noah Syndergaard.
It's not Syndergaard? Oh, wow.
Shocker.
Is it?
It's this guy, Christian Javier. He's allowed 7 stolen bases. Nobody's allowed more. George Springer, he ties the team with 3 stolen bases, and he bats leadoff. I'm going to take a stab at him that he can swipe a bag for a half unit at plus 500. So George Springer will be my candidate today to swipe a bag. All right, 6th inning, it's a steal. What do we have today on the board that we just can't ignore? Too much value on that board.
I really like the money line there to go along with Hunter Gaddis, and I'll take the Cleveland Guardians against the Detroit Tigers. They were supposed to play the Giants yesterday in that postponed game. I had the Giants. I paid a massive minus 170 price. I would have been happy to see that. I also had the under in that game and a very good jump on it. I think I was beating it by a full run. I had, I don't know, under 9 and it was 8 or something along those, under 8.5 it was 7.5, something like that. I was happy, to have the value I did there, and it didn't get played, but I think the Tigers would get beat again here by the Guardians. Just not trusting them to get runs. Matthew Boyd actually has a projection to get over his strikeouts on that prop. He does, but it wasn't something that I was super high on, not like backing the Guardians there. And so, it's a good team at a good price that doesn't look sketchy. There's getting a good team at a good price where it looks weird, and this one doesn't to me, and the reason is because the game opened around minus 115, and it's pressing towards minus 130. So you have that confirmation. You have that agreement in the line that, there's obviously a lot of other people thinking that too. So also, here's a funny thing to note. If you're looking at early lines, meaning the evening before, at the sharper books, so I'm talking your Circos, your bookmakers, Pinnacles, these things, when the line is moving a cent, it's roughly taking about $1,000 to move it, or like I think it was $1,000 or $2,000 to move it 1 cent, something like that. So, or $5,000 to move it a cent, because last night there was $10,000 that came in on a game and it moved 2 cents. That's why I know that. But yeah, that's crazy. So think about how much money it's taking then to move a game 20 cents, right? Like
at that time of night, yeah.
It's what you. So yeah, I mean, I know there's a kind of this misconception where people think like, they hear, oh, the public money is coming in, and it's like, okay, public money. So if your average bettor is doing, I don't know, $20, $50, $100, something like that. I mean, it's not many people are doing $10,000, $20,000 max bets, right? So that's why when these limits go up and you're getting closer to the first pitch, this is why you want to pay attention. It's why it's important to pay attention, because that's when the biggest money's coming in, $20,000 on a side. These are the bigger players. This is when the opinions matter the most. You can take advantage of the weaker lines because the limits are lower the night before. So, really we should be looking at tomorrow's games at about 2 or 3 p.m. today. If you want, if your bankroll's low enough, which I assume most people watching this aren't betting 10 or 20 grand.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not. I like how you brought up the Guardians. Well, I'm sure we'll get to it in rapid fire, but I thought there were a lot of money lines that were like, really, minus 125, like that's it, huh? Yeah, I kind of like that. So good one right there. Matt Boyd, he ain't going over 3.5 Ks. How many times did we back the Guardians last year from an unders? They're only striking out at 17.6%. No chance Boyd is going to go over 3.5 Ks.
No chance.
I can't see it happening. So
No
hey,
chance at all.
NRFI Nation, it's time to stand up. That's what I do in the sixth inning. I give you my best NRFI of the day. Giants Marlins minus 130. We've picked on this Marlins team. They only average 0.31 runs per first inning. Giants at 0.71. Both of these teams are struggling. Giants can't hit left-handers. They're hitting 212, which ranks 23rd. They slug 303, which ranks 29th, and they strike out a ton at 29.1%. It's actually the third most, but they have 141 plate appearances, which is by far more than the guys in 1 and 2. So I actually really trust that sample size of 29.1% strikeout rate. So they're going to struggle. Marlins, they're just the Marlins, right? They only hit 236 versus right-handers. They're going to struggle versus Logan Webb in that first inning. So NRFI of the day there, NRFI Nation. It's your Giants, Marlins, minus 130. Go ahead and get it. Best bet of the day. That's what we do here to come into a stretch. We give you our best bet of the day. What's yours?
I'm not kidding. I can't get off of it. It's like I said, it's my steal. The coming to a stretch, everything.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the Max Fried over 3.5 Ks. I'm gonna live and die by that at minus 106. It's just the largest edge mathematically that I could find on the entire MLB board today. There's nothing better in terms of edge that I have, and being a numbers guy and doing the analytical logical type of thing. That's the play for me. It's Max Fried over 3.5 strikeouts.
All right, my best bet is I want to stay with this Giants and I want to stay with this Marlins game. I want to target the Marlins F5 run line. You could do money line, and then you get the option to push. It's at minus 125, but I want the greater return. I want that plus money bet. I think the Marlins have that many advantages in the first 5 innings. So I'm taking a stab at the F5 run line at plus 120. You get Logan Webb against Jesus Luzardo here. And I found a website that'll tell you the pitcher's stats through innings 1 through 6, and obviously I'm making a bet 1 through 5, so these numbers aren't 100% applicable, but I didn't have time to add up the first ones. But Webb through innings 1 through 6, 17 innings pitched, 18 hits, 8 earned runs, 4 home runs, and lets people hit 269 off of them. Luzardo, banned near the same number of innings, 17.2 innings pitched, 13 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 home runs, and guys only hit 210 off him. I really like that. Their season numbers, though, Luzardo's better, right? A 1.93 ERA versus 4.76. Opponent's batting average 224 versus 269. His whip is 1.1 versus 1.24 for Logan Webb. So he's just a better guy. Then you want to add in that the Giants are struggling again versus left-handers. Why we like the NRFI. They hit 212. They only slug 303. They strike out a goddamn ton. And I think the Marlins will hit Logan Webb enough. He's had some rough outings so far this season where even though they only hit 236 versus right-handers, I think we only need 1-2 runs. That's what I'm expecting out of Luzardo because that's what he's been this season. And then you add in the Giant struggles versus left-handers. So play it safe if you want. You can go with that money line, give yourself a tie option, give yourself a chance to push. But I'm taking that F5 run line at plus 120 for my best bet of the day. All right, double play. That's our best bet of the day. What about a fun play today? What about a parlay there, Squirrel? What are you parlaying together?
I threw a team in my double play that I don't think we talked about, but I do think you like the Cubs today, don't you? Did we talk about the Cubs?
We hadn't. We'll certainly get to it in rapid fire, but yeah, I like the Cubs.
I threw them in there with the Guardians, but
Guardians, okay. That was another one. We'll get to it, but what's it, like minus 125 or something? Oh, minus 180.
The Cubs?
Never mind. Sorry, minus 180. Oh, they changed out a pitcher. It's no longer, whoa, that's why I jumped to minus 180. Because that was minus 120. They're now throwing Marcus Stroman. When I did my research, it was that Hayden Wesneski kid. DraftKings is showing me Stroman now. The Cubs have only gotten stronger because Wesneski's been rocky. That's why I kind of like the over in that game with Waddle Chuck.
Are you looking at? No. I think you're looking at like tomorrow's game or something, man.
Oh wow, yeah, DraftKings. I scrolled down knowing it was a night game. Okay, you're right.
Bruh.
So is this still? Why the hell did they do that? DraftKings.
Bruh.
Oh hey, hold on. Urena's pitching tomorrow. I just saw that. Okay. Anyways, I still like the Cubs.
But yes, it is about minus 130 roughly, and the Guardians are around that as well. So you're getting over plus 200 for a 2-team money line parlay that I like there. So yeah, it is that Wesneski guy.
Love that.
Going against Kyle Muller.
All right, for my parlay today, I've already told you why the Red Sox are going to struggle against Ohtani, and I've told you why the Giants are going to struggle today against Luzardo. So I'm taking their F5 team totals under 2.5 runs, parlaying those two together at minus 107. Let's throw up our official bets, and then let's get to rapid fire, where time to have some. Whoa, I did that again the other day. I did that same thing the other day. I know. All right, those are the bets. Those are the ones that got my money. Obviously, I've talked to other stuff, given leans out, but those are the only ones that grabbed my cash. Here are the ones that grabbed Squirrel's cash. Here. And then let me get my phone out. Let's run through some rapid fire.
Right. Hey. Do you see something there at the bottom of the screen? You see a little bonus pick in there?
Yeah, I saw a hockey pick for the people.
Oh, yeah, it's the LA Kings, the Edmonton Oilers to go over 6.5. That's hockey. That's not baseball. Projecting that game 3-3 should be a very high-scoring series with anybody that the Oilers are going against, really. That's the Oilers' style. They have a ton of offense. They produce a lot of goals, but their defense, not that great. So you expect them to get scored on, and you expect them to score a lot. Kings can get that job done. I think they can get 3-3. That's an automatic over. So do look for those Kings and Oilers games to go over from here on out as well. And for all of my futures and everything, check out hockeysquirrel.com and get in the Discord.
All right, cool. Let's go ahead and kick off rapid fire. Angels, Red Sox, where first pitch is now scheduled for 11:05 Central Time. So we're getting baseball in about 30 minutes. Angels, Red Sox, over under of 8. Angels minus 135. Red Sox come in at plus 115. I'm going to say that Angels are going to give them just enough run support. So I'm taking that Angels money line minus 135. You're on the under, obviously.
I have under 9, so I'm beating that by a full run, but I will go against you there and say that I'll take the Red Sox. Red Sox, not the Reds, the Red Sox.
Rays and Reds, you get an over-under of 9.5. Rays minus 140, Reds plus 120. I know Squirrel said he likes the Reds, but in a bullpen game, when the Red Sox when the Rays are top 3 across the board in bullpen stats, that's not a bullpen I want to go against. I'll take the Rays to continue winning. Minus 140.
Cool, I'll go against you with the Reds. All right, hold on. I got to track this. Give me a second.
Giants and Marlins with an over-under of 7.5. We get the Giants at plus 105. Marlins at minus 125. Bullpen. There's a reason why I'm only on the Marlins F5, and I knew that Marlins full game. But if you believe Luzardo can get the job done, if you can get to those good arms in the bullpen, take the Marlins at minus 125.
Yeah, I would absolutely, and this is an example of a good team at a good price, but it looks weird.
Right. I just made my bet because of Luzardo's dominance. That's why I didn't do it. But there's no reason why you shouldn't get into those good arms in the bullpen. So I think Marlins money line is a good play. Yeah. All right, let's next one. Guardians, Tigers, over under of 8. Guardians minus 125. Tigers come in at plus 105. I've seen nothing to suggest that the Tigers are going to beat the Guardians, so I'm taking the Guardians at money line minus 125. I don't believe it.
Yeah, I will too.
Phillies and White Sox. This is an easy over 8, fellas. Easy over 8. Phillies minus 120. White Sox even money. The Phillies bullpen could blow it. So I'm just going to stick to the over 8 here in rapid fire. And I don't want to pick a side. Give me the over.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it. Did you say something about the weather? Did you say about the wind in that game? Or have you looked at it?
I mean, I live here. I know the rain should stop mid-afternoon, and it'll be 40-ish. So it'll be fine.
Yeah, it's going to be cold, but I mean, the wind said, at least, according to the website I looked at, it could be wrong, but it said 25 miles an hour straight out.
Maybe. Wasn't that windy when I took my son
to school. That windy there?
No, it wasn't that windy when I went to school with my son, but who knows. What about DeGrom versus Jordan Lyles with an over-under of 7.5, Rangers minus 210, Royals plus 180. I can only get behind DeGrom on a nice bounce back on his term, so I'm going Rangers run line here.
I'll go against you and take the Royals money line.
Okay.
I'll do the public fade there. You got to keep in mind too. It's 10:30 in the morning. The game's going to be played at like 6, 7 at night, right?
Mm-hmm. About what you mean? About the wind?
I mean, the wind could come in. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Still stuck on that. Don't worry about it.
I mean, if we're talking wind, obviously that favors two teams. And give me the number one offense versus right-handers with 25 mile an hour. I mean, if the White Sox are going to hit it out, the Phillies are going to smash it out. Diamondbacks and Cardinals with an over-under of 8.5. Diamondbacks plus 135. Cardinals come in at minus 155. I'm taking the under here. Even though I do like the Diamondbacks offense and I justified them as my dog of the day, Cardinals aren't hitting. I'm taking the under.
It's a good play. Yeah, I would too.
Blue Jays and Astros over-under of 8. Blue Jays minus 115. Astros minus 105. Gausman versus Javier. Boy, Gausman's sharp. I'm taking those Blue Jays at minus 115.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared both ways, whether it's a total or a money line. I think it's damn near a coin flip on both.
I mean, yeah, the juice kind of says it.
I'll go heads up with you again. I'll take the Astros, and I'll go with an under 8.
All right, you're keeping our tally so we can support our personal records tomorrow on the show and quick hits. Pirates and Rockies over under of 11.5. Pirates plus 120. Rockies coming at minus 140. I am taking
the over 11.5 and skip the game winner.
Hold on. Let me get a refresher what the Pirates bullpen numbers look like here for half a second.
Over 11.5. I don't want to pick a winner. Final answer, Regis.
Under 8.5 or 11.5, whatever it was. Under 11.5. Give me the under. Cubs and Athletics with an over/under of 8. Cubs minus 135. Athletics plus 115. I'm just taking the Cubs to win the game.
It's the Cubs to win the game.
Braves Padres over/under of 8.5. Braves minus 145. Padres plus 125. Ooh. Man, take the Braves.
It's a tough one.
Ryan Weathers, I mean, I know he had a good outing last time out against the Mets. Everybody was on the over that day. There's a reason they were on the over that day. Ryan Weathers isn't that good. I'm taking the Braves.
Yeah. And again, man, it's a tough one for a lot of reasons. It's a tough one for line movement. It's a tough one for the leash of Max Fried. How deep is he going to go? That plays a large factor in the game. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I have an under 8.5 in the game. I didn't pick a side in terms of an actual bet. I'll back the Braves, but I do feel slightly sketched about it. But you're getting the better starter. It's just
Oh, for sure. They're getting the better bullpen. Yeah. All right, Brewers and Mariners with an over-under of 7.5. Brewers minus 150. Mariners coming at plus 130. Almost made my dog of the day. To the Mariners, but I'm going to take them here on rapid fire. I'm taking them for rapid fire, though.
On the Mariners?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll back you. I'll back you. Back it with you. Whatever. You know what I'm trying to say.
And Mets and Dodgers. I'm taking the Mets as a dog price at plus 125 up against the Dodgers at minus 145 with an over-under of 8.5. If I'm picking a side on that, go ahead and give me under and the dog.
You can get this now higher. Like, the price just went up. There are places out there you can grab a 140 at this point, plus 140 on the Mets.
Okay. All right. If you're interested to know which of those leans I like best from Rapid Fire, hang on after the exit music here and the exit video. I'm going to put together a little personal parlay for myself and see if we can't share the winnings tomorrow with you guys. So if you're interested in that, hang around. Otherwise, thank you guys for hanging out with us. Go enjoy this Angels-Red Sox game here this afternoon, and then enjoy the nightcap of baseball. Thank you, fellas. Have a good Monday.
See you later.
All right, for anyone interested, I'm going to put together a parlay. Let's see. We can get Squirrel's input here. Squirrel, what was your favorite? What was your favorite lean from? What was your favorite lean from Rapid Fire? I'm building a parlay.
So something I didn't already give out.
Sure.
Well, maybe in terms of anything I didn't give out, maybe the Braves. I don't think we actually bet that.
All right, I'm not betting. I'm not putting that in a parlay. I don't know what you're getting out of Max Free today for the lane. So
you asked me for.
I can ask you, but I can also not use it. I can do the same. I can ask and not use it. If that was your favorite one, awesome. I'm not willing to put it in a
Of
parlay.
things I didn't give out. Yeah, I mean the only things I didn't give out were in the Brewers Mariners game. So I guess Mariners, but I don't know if you really want to parlay that against 49ers. We
Wow.
didn't give out the.
My favorite one of the over in Phillies White Sox, Barstools isn't even offering it to me. They've only got 12 games today. That's my favorite one. All right. Well, don't like that one. I'm taking. What's another one I like? I'm taking the Rangers on the run line. Actually, I'm not going to build this yet. I'll build it. Man, I want that over. That was my favorite one. I want that over. This was gone with a 12 now. You're over 11.5, and Pirates Rockies is 12 on Barstools.
That's because Barstool sucks. No, generally they actually have the best prices for the players. But
yeah, generally.
If you take them, you get limited real fast. Let's see where the best price is for. Yeah, it's still at Caesars and DraftKings and BetMGM.
All right, if you're curious what my parlay is going to look like, this is what it'll look like on the screen. And I'm going to add that Phillies White Sox over 8 whenever Barstools wants to give me that flag. Whenever this thing loads, I'll show you. Let's get going. Come on. Let's get going.
Do you like my new ball cap today, man? It's the first time I've ever worn it.
Yeah, you caught enough shit
Straight
for
out
one
of
that looked
Costco.
like the Marlins.
Straight out of Costco.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I have that one. Oh, yeah.
Darn it.
It was funny because I got that one as a Christmas present, and I pulled it out, and I was like, why'd you get me a Marlins hat?
Yeah, definitely. I think Corey or somebody said it. All right, here we go. And then it locks up again. Same thing that did last time.
Have you tried clearing your cache, your browser cache?
All right, fellas.
Turn it off and back on
Rangers
again?
run
Replace the
line.
batteries?
Guardians money line. Reds team total under 3.5. And over. Phillies White Sox over 8. That'll be the 4-legged parlay. See if we can't cash that and give away some money on tomorrow's show. That is not loading for whatever reason. All right. That's how we're doing it. Come back here. Now we'll sign off. Catch you guys mañana. Have a good one, fellas.
See ya.